The.R.R.Outdoorsman. Hey everybody, I'm here with Gabriel and Jonathan. And we're going backpacking. We're going to go to a very remote, isolated place in George Washington National Forest called Pinnacle Ridge, where I highly doubt we will see anybody. And we're going to be far away from the Appalachian Trail, and we will not encounter anybody, hopefully. But in case we do, we got some more tricks up our sleeve. So stay tuned. We are kind of going up there. There's a moment of truth. There it is. Look at the priest and the little priest. Boom. Mysterious rock walls all over the place. Looking at what's left of the Virginia Blue Ridge Railway. There's a small, almost unnoticeable embankment or grade along the side of the road here. You can kind of see it. And we're still driving, but I can see the little priest a little more distinctly and the big priest. 3 ridges. Hit the apex, Jonathan. See if people are listening to the recommendations. I can't even tell. Upper parking lot. That's not bad. Crabtree Falls. Yep. Meadows Lane. Crabtree Meadows.
I'll get up there. I'm gonna pull over. Yes.
4-wheel drive only. What'd you say, Jonathan? That's reassuring. Now, Meadows Lane ends and the upper Shoe Creek Trail begins. All right, so we're here where we're going to park at. I can take the dumbass mask off now since we're not in the car together anymore. Jonathan and Gabriel getting ready to gear up. We're going to head up this logging road here. Head on over to Pinnacle Ridge. All right, here walking along the trail. And it's becoming less of a trail, more of an old abandoned fire road. A bunch of blowdowns. We are now entering the Priest Wilderness. Here on this isn't even on a map that I've seen yet, this old logging road. I don't even know what number it is. If it even has one. Rhododendra? You have rhododendron on your shoulders?
Tomato.
You need some head and shoulders, Jonathan? Found a spot here where some deer have been bedding down in the trail. The character of the trail is changing quite a bit now. It's going to become pretty faint and hard to follow down in this bottom. Pinnacle Ridge is just up there. Also worth mentioning that I got the Wilderness Safe Packer today, which is a concealed carry holster for the backcountry for quick access if you need it. They make it to fit various different firearms, and it holds the extra mag as well. A little extra peace of mind. We are in a national forest, so it is lawful to carry, but unlawful to discharge. So one should bear that in mind. And speaking of bearing stuff in mind, here's a big spot where something took a nap. That is a massive freaking tree. Good God. That is a tree. I would have loved to see that thing when it was still alive. We left the fire road, or what's left of it. Now we're walking straight up the ridge. We made it to the top of the ridge line. Whew! There's 3 ridges. There's the priest. And there's Jonathan and Gabriel behind the tree. Coming up on our first rock feature here. I see lots of pine trees. It's gonna be neat. The top of 3 ridges right there. There's Chimney Rock. And here's the Priest, the number 7 toughest climb on the Appalachian Trail on southbound direction. And there is Pinnacle Ridge, which we are on. And there's Jonathan and Gabriel, looking all majestic in front of the sunset. Keeps getting better. It's kind of like old rag down here. Amherst man falls to his death and isn't found for weeks in George Washington National Forest. Just kidding. Phew. Down here. I don't see a worn path going into it or anything. Also don't want to fall into the cave. Interesting. I don't think my balls are big enough to go into that cave. I think I'll leave it alone and hope nothing comes out of it. That is cool though. I don't know. Got the fire going with a knife and a steel, or a knife and a flint, or magnesium rod, or whatever the hell it is, and some lint from Jonathan's dryer. Yes, sir.
Quality of CSX fumes.
Yeah. What you guys got over there?
Gourmet meal.
What is it?
Nora
What's that?
rice with beef, onion, mushrooms.
Did you dehydrate all that?
Nope.
Did you actually bring like ground beef up here and brown it
I did.
while I was putting my tarp up?
Yep.
Dang, can't believe I missed that.
Day hikes are awesome.
Yeah, they are. This is an overnight though, Jonathan.
Yeah. I walked up here in the day.
Well, I got up so I could film the sunrise. What a sunrise it's gonna be. Just waiting on the sun. I see some intense pink developing over Chimney Rock right here. Come on, sunrise. Well, I certainly don't look very good compared to the sunrise, but I certainly can't zoom on it or anything. But there it is. Sunrise at Pinnacle Rocks. Back to camp. Oh, look, here's camp. Camp a little close together due to tree selection. Look at that. Got my hammock set up there. Jonathan's got a Stratospire 2 right there. Tarp tent. Our campfire down here on this rock last night. A little something that the mat is going to be very interested in.
You could start a fire right there and lay up under that rock, and you'd be the warmest person camping probably on earth. It'd be pretty sweet. There's the rock we're camped on top of. Dang it. Over there's Crabtree Falls, which we heard all night. Got the Bald Mountain off in the distance. Here, there's some snoring taking place next door, so I'm gonna relax, read a little bit, take a nap. All these fuckers over here sleep in. Yeah, the pole mod really saved the day today because of the way this thing's pitched. But it held, and what were supposed to be 55-mile-an-hour winds on the breeze last night, I'd say we got some 25 or 30 gusts down here. If you listen, somebody on the N&W in Shenandoah Valley is excessively blowing the horn and is in like notch 8. What do you think about their train handling technique, Jonathan? Excessive.
Not everybody needs to be an overachiever.
Yeah. Now, if you had to guess, would you say that he's running PTC?
Yes.
What about Trip Optimizer?
No.
No. That shit is loud. Can't get away from it. They're eating my keto breakfast. I've had an entire package of pate de campagne, which I probably guarantee is way too much protein. I didn't bring the nutrition facts with me. What else? 2 hard-boiled eggs and avocado so far, but this is a small avocado. It's probably about 40 grams. The safe packers hanging on my ridge line here is a very convenient setup if you feel like you need to carry a firearm with you, which I don't feel like I need to, but it makes me feel better, so, well. It is 75 degrees this morning. Wow. Sitting here waiting for my BC powder that I took to kick in because my liver is pissing me off. Or my liver's pissed off, or cancer's pissing my liver off or something. As soon as I can tolerate it, we're gonna be hiking back to the car. Leave no trace. All packed up. Now it's time for the long walk back to the car.
Boom!
Oh, look, there's a fire right there. Sure is. Well, we made it back to the Jeep. Loading up. Just noticed that this is actually a little spring right here. It's probably some fine water.
Nope. Party. Oh, stop.
Yeah, keep going.
Corn husky boy.
Hang right. That's what it was.
Middle of the day, man. People don't do shit back out there.
Dang it.
That's all.
Headlaw River. Let's see if people are actually following the ATC recommendations. Yeah. Ain't nobody there. That's crazy. I figured it'd be 18 cars there, like people chugging beers and stuff. All right, we just got back to my house and we got this tradition where we, for some reason, have to have Mexican food every time we go hiking. So I made some homemade organic pork chorizo, some almond flour tortillas, and some queso fundido. Look at that. Yes, sir. Boom.